Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got videos today from Man Talk.
About hoflation and how modern men have to put in 20 times more effort to bag a woman that has like a fraction of the value compared to like what his grandfather had to do in like the 1950s or earlier. But I don't hear anyone talking about the counter to this, where women today are literally settling for men who have testosterone levels the equivalent of what like a 60-year-old would have had in the 1950s. I don't hear anyone talking about how like the muscle mass of men has diminished so much that it's literally like shocking when you look back to footage of like 1950s, 60s, how shredded our country was and how jacked the guys were and like ripped.
And how fat the women weren't.
Like how safe that must have felt for a woman being in the presence of these men. Like no one is talking about any of that. How many literal soy boys and like highly estrogenic men we have to sift through in the dating market.
Yeah, you know why that is, sweetie? Because
Your single moms created them.
Back in the 1950s and 60s, women actually knew how to cook healthy, nutritious meals. Wives packed their husbands' lunches before the husbands went to work, and when the husbands came back from work, they had dinner waiting on the table, and it was the same for the children. But ever since your mothers and grandmothers drank the feminism Kool-Aid and started believing that marriage is oppression, and the only way to escape the oppression of your husband is to work a 9-to-5 under the oppression of your male boss, that's when fast food became a thing, and that's when America stopped being shredded. Up until today, when...
This is so true. In the last 40 years, fast food has really taken a hold of America, right? Most of us definitely do not cook home meals anymore. The whole, 90s sitcom of families coming together in the evenings and eating dinner together, I don't believe that's a normal thing nowadays.
A lot of you lovely ladies don't even know how to boil water.
Pathetic. True.
Because realistically, when you spend 9 hours at work plus another 2 hours going to and from work, you physically don't have the time to cook healthy, nutritious meals. And by the way, sweetie, 2 of the main factors that affect testosterone levels are diet and stress. And well, the modern diet is what it is, and there are a few things less.
This is probably why I have a little bit more testosterone than most men at my age, because I usually eat very home-cooked type meals. I don't really eat fast food, and I eat very Asian meals.
Stressful nowadays than dealing with modern women.
Men in like their princess era, men who like going 50-50 and don't find pride in taking care of a woman and like protecting and providing for her and his family.
Yeah, kind of hard to find pride in providing and protecting for a woman that's been ran through all through her 20s, and you're expected to pay for what Chad Tyrone and Poopy the Clown got for free. Not a chance.
How that trait has literally been bred out of men in this country, in America. There was a very clear moment I remember a few months ago. I was on the beach, and I was just looking around at all of the men on the beach, and all I saw...
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, sweetie, and ever since the 60s when you drank the feminism Kool-Aid and took the fathers out of the house, a lot of these men were raised by single moms. So if modern men aren't up to your standards, you have only yourselves to blame.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, women forget, you raised the men too.
Why are there more traditions to celebrate women, and would that make sense if we're living in a patriarchy?
Are there more traditions to celebrate women? Because I'm going to need you to show your work on that one.
Oh, I'll happily show you my work. So, first we got International Women's Day, and then there's Mother's Day. And before you say, but there's International Men's Day too, barely anybody knows when that is, and
when is that?
Almost nobody celebrates it. Oh, and every year on Father's Day, there's a ton of bitter women, especially single moms, who flood social media talking crap about fathers. And now, what other traditions were there that celebrate?
There's also Valentine's Day. It's supposed to be for couples, but women hijacked it to now it's their holiday.
Women and not men. Oh yeah, Family Court, where 90% of child custody goes to women. And 95% of child support goes from men to women. And in 90% of cases, marital assets go from men to women, usually leaving the ex-husband financially ruined. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, gender diversity quotas in academics and corporations. And of course, mainstream entertainment, where every movie or TV show nowadays has to have an invincible boss babe beating the patriarchy. And the list goes on, but hey, Don't let facts stop you from simping.
Here's the thing that really gets me about this question. You're acting like having a day where women get brunch somehow negates the rest of the year where women make 82 cents to every dollar a man makes.
What?
Where women make 82 cents to every dollar a man makes.
Women up to the age of 35 are out earning men. Men, make more money. It's not that hard. We're already doing it.
Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
Damn
Where
right.
they do the majority of
Walk like a duck, talk like a duck.
unpaid household labor.
Comrade, there's no...
I so hate this whole unpaid household labor and unpaid like emotional labor. Men do the exact same thing. Stop it.
such thing as household labor. Doing housework is part of being an adult. If the lovely ladies don't feel like doing housework because it's quote-unquote unpaid labor, by all means, they can go live on the streets with the cockroaches.
It's like you forget, if you lived on your own, is it now unpaid labor again? Because you're living on your own, you have to do these things. But now because you have a husband, it became unpaid labor all of a sudden. Yeah. How come no one ever talks about it like that?
Or in the woods with the bear.
Leave me alone, please leave me alone. Leave me alone, please leave me alone.
And where they're underrepresented in leadership positions across virtually every industry.
Yeah.
'Cause we're
maybe
leaders.
Because when they do get leadership positions, they tend to destroy multi-billion-dollar brands. You know, I can only imagine what would have happened to the world if Kamala Harris became president, but the gist of it would have been nuclear war with Russia.
It's like saying, how can we have racism? February is Black History Month. Barack Obama was president. Do you see how that logic falls apart?
You know, that's a question you should ask Carmelo Anthony and his supporters, or even Obama himself, because, you know, if he had a son, he'd look like Trayvon Martin.
And the thing is, if we really lived in a matriarchy, we wouldn't need special days to remember that women exist and contribute to society.
No, we just have laws and legal practices like the Duluth model, which automatically considers the man as the
Yep.
perpetrator and the woman as the victim.
Their contributions would be woven into the fabric of how we talk about history, business, science, and politics every single day. But instead, we get one or two
That's if they actually contributed all those things to that mass and to that degree, then they would be woven into the fabric of history.
days where you have to buy flowers, and suddenly that's evidence that women run the world. Look how romantic I am. Look what I bought you. Look how much effort I put in. Now, please ignore how badly I've treated you for the last 364 days.
Right, because we just treat women trash except for the one Women's Day, right?
Oh, you were so close to the root of the problem, but of course, you missed it. Hey, comrade, the man that treats her badly 364 days out of the year, guess what? She picked him. And no matter how much you and other males like you simp for these women, they're always gonna pick the men who treat them badly over the men who simp for them.
Every time I post about being a redhead, the comments are like, does the carpet match the drapes? Does the carpet match the drapes? No, the carpet does not match the drapes. You know why? I paid really good money and I got zapped off. And did it feel good? Absolutely not. And so I need you guys to actually appreciate that there's no carpet, okay?
Sweetie, that's good for you and all, but real talk?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
We like the carpet. That's why they asked.
Nobody cares.
Seriously, you're just some random chick on the internet, and I only care about the ones I actually eggplant, so please.
Now, even then, do you really care about the ones you eggplant, man talk? Maybe some.
Go find your free validation elsewhere.
Dismissed.
And you know how you do that? You go look at it.
I don't know if you see any of it online, but the gender wars are
The
horrible.
gender wars.
Oh,
Meaning-
yeah.
what do you mean?
Young women just being so anti-men and young men being so anti-women and cheering against each other. It's horrible. It is horrible.
Like uniquely new? Like this is
much more than ever before.
What do you think is causing that?
A lot of it started 2016 election. A lot of women got very angry that Trump was elected, and they followed something that happened in South Korea as well, where the women said, no men, no dating, no sex. There was a term for it, but they cut off everything. And there was a little bit of that movement after the 2016 election here in the United States as well. It didn't gain as much traction, but this is very divisive. And it goes back to the algorithm that we were talking about earlier as well. A lot of people get put in those echo chambers where, you need to have a villain. And the men are the villain, or the women are the villain. The women are the reason.
I don't think the women are the villain. I've never really said the women are the villain. Society's the villain, in my opinion, because society and the government kind of propagated us to be this way with each other, with how housing is, with how the job market is. The government sold out to major corporations.
And men aren't doing well. The men are the reason women aren't doing well. The men have been holding us back forever. They've been, keeping us in the kitchen and everything like that.
Yeah, all you have to do is look at the world and realize that's not true. But hey, a lot of the lovely ladies need someone to blame because their gender studies degrees are useless, and it's easier to blame men than blame themselves.
The 4B movement.
Yes.
Women boycotting men. Anti-men movement. 4B movement is a radical feminist rebellion that emerged around 2015. It's named after 4 Korean terms, starting with BI, meaning no. Bihon, no heterosexual marriage. Bicholsen, no childbirth. Biyone, no dating men. Bisekyu, no sexual relations with men. Okay. Participants argued this is not about misandry, but rather a drastic method to opt out of an intensely patriarchal society and protect themselves from gender-based violence, such as digital sex crimes, spy cams, and workplace discrimination.
So it picked up some pretty big steam here in the United States after 2016 as well.
But I gotta think that everyone who's saying no dating men and no sexual relationships with men isn't attractive.
Probably not.
Joe hit it on the nail right there.
But sexlessness among young people is so high compared to any other generation right
Very
now.
high. Very high virgin rate, which is really odd. We're finding a lot of people, and a lot of them identify as Christian, and that's the reason why they're saying, or Catholic, this is the reason why they're saying they're virgin. And I'm like, what's happening? You don't get horny? What are you doing?
It's interesting.
You don't like people?
I've had a lot of people on my show say they want to have sex but can't have sex. So I guess they haven't used that cope, the religious cope, but...
It's actually pretty funny seeing these two famous podcaster guys try to figure out why people aren't getting laid. Dudes, it's because most women only go for the top 20% of men while the other 80% of men get ignored. But you guys don't experience that because you're in the top 20%.
I don't know, but that's another...
I'm on my way there. So nowadays I do experience that other side of things where women do approach, women do give me a little bit more attention and stuff just because I am towards that end. It is a different feeling, and it's a good feeling. This is why you work hard to try to be a man of means and get money for yourself, right? And then you have options. That's the thing. You do it for yourself, and then you have options. Then you can just pick and choose. But you live a good life. That's the fun stuff. Just living a good life.
Example of the radicalization. So they blame each other. Like, okay, Trump got elected. Many of the women in this country that lean to the left didn't like it, so they got very upset. They blame the men for electing him. Men blame women. DEI policies, which, yeah, there are things to complain about. I do get it, like on both sides probably, but they've just gone so extreme. So there's a gender war right now where it's just trying to nuke the other side. And
does this spill over into real life as much, or is this a lot of people that spend way too much time on the internet already?
Definitely more that than anything.
Yeah.
Definitely more that. But the unfortunate real life consequences lead to that loneliness online, because the real life consequence is that people are staying inside and on screens and more lonely than ever. So that's the real life impact. They're not going out and talking about the 4B movement on the corner of the street, but instead of going out like they used to and having more friends, they're sitting inside and complaining about it on Reddit.
So then what's the alternative? Put yourself out there? Okay, sure. The thing is, guys, When you go around the block a few times as an average man, not as a famous podcaster, and you deal with women, you might realize that most dates are just job interviews that you have to pay for, trying to impress a broke woman that comes pre-eggplanted, a woman who's not really interested in you, but might settle for you because she can't get Chad to commit.
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
No wonder a lot of men would rather stay on the internet than deal with that crap.
So that is the real life consequences. It becomes online.
Yeah. It's just so strange that these...
They say that it doesn't translate to real life. They're wrong. I am chronically online and chronically in real life. It's out there. Like what we see online isn't that far off from what is happening in real life.
People don't recognize that you have a finite time to exist, and you're spending all your time like captured in these like stupid echo chambers.
Feels good to be a victim though, because everyone online that is in your little ecosystem, they give you the thumbs up. They make you feel reassured. Feels
and
good.
Complaining is exciting. People do love to complain.
Yeah.
It excites you. It gets you going.
Whether this is accurate, I think this gives a little insight into the Korean 4B movement. This is a post on Reddit from 2 years ago, but this paragraph here is...
Oh, about Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about a country where a woman's career can be jeopardized for something as innocuous as wearing a t-shirt that reads, "Girls don't need a prince," or for liking a Women's March post on Twitter, even if it was 7 years ago. I'm not exaggerating. Incidents like this have occurred, and as recently as last year, we're talking about literal termination of a contract due to a heart made on a post regarding women's safety issues on Twitter dating back to 7 or more years ago due to incel gamers throwing a fit.
Yeah, I don't agree with this whole lose your job because of what you post online when you're off work.
Agreed.
But I can't help remembering when Biden was president and a lot of men got fired for things like liking a post that said there are only 2 genders. So again, I don't condone it, but at the same time, I don't feel sorry for these lovely ladies.
So they have an incel problem in Korea too. A lot of, and also low replacement rate. Like
worst in the world, yeah.
Korea is really bad. Is it the worst? It's worse
in the world.
Than
Cultural
Japan?
collapse within a few decades, yeah. By the end of the century.
Oy.
Yeah, South Korea is done. But no, it's true. And like I said, like there are valid logics to it. I'm not saying like everyone's just doing it inherently to be evil.
Right.
But if your outcome is to become radicalized into something like the 4B movement, no one should be fired for wearing a dress or liking a post.
Right.
You know?
It's crazy.
But to become radicalized and start this thing where it divides the genders, because we have more political division in in the Gen Z gender than any other generation, or religious division. It's crazy. And to fuel that, because things have been not perfect.
So when you say political division, is it that young men are going to the right and young women are going to the left? Is that what it is?
Yeah, when they've done tracking and polling of post-election results and how people have voted, age groups and gender groups, they've seen that men have moved to the right a little bit, but women dramatically since 2016 have moved to the pretty far left. Young women, not millennial or Gen X or boomer women especially, but Gen Z women have moved very far to the left.
And that's a paradox that's not only ridiculous, it's also kind of funny, because these women went so far to the left because they hate men, and the left is allegedly all about feminism and female empowerment. But at the same time, these leftist politicians that the lovely ladies vote for because they hate men bring in thousands of third world, military-age men into their country who view and treat women like property.
I wonder what changes, if anything, in that when women have children. Because one of the things that I found is that my friends who wound up having children, my female friends, they almost all started moving to the right. They almost start all recognizing that there's like real safety issues, there's real crime issues. They're wondering where their tax money goes.
Yeah.
They see corruption and fraud, things that they never really talked about at all when they were single and didn't have a child. But as soon as they get married, as soon as they have children, then they start going.
Yeah, you actually have responsibilities and have other people to care for other than yourself. Usually turn a little bit more conservative.
I mean, hey, this place. You know, they like so many of them wound up moving out of LA right after they had children. And so many of them started moving into a different sort of ideology.
Yeah, maybe that's because when they have kids, they don't want their kids to get stabbed by a guy who didn't want to get out of a tent and then expects to get away with it by pulling the race card. Or maybe because they don't want their kids to be jobless in the future because corporations abuse H-1B visas to bring in thousands of third world workers to take away jobs from Americans.
Bruh.
Sure would be nice if the lovely ladies would notice these things before they have kids.
But people have to get married and have kids for that to happen. And we just hit our lowest birth rate in the United States.
Is it the lowest ever replacement rate?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. It was before, the last time we had actual replacement rate was before the Great Recession. And ever since then, this has gone off a cliff.
Yeah, I'm sure the 1.1 million abortions that happened last year may have contributed to that. But guys, at the end of the day, this problem is easily solvable. Women need to have realistic expectations when it comes to men, realize that Chad will always just pump and dump, and if they want commitment and families, they should date and marry men at their own level. At the same time, men need to stop simping, because the main reason why the dating market is a dumpster fire is because a lot of men not only put up with women's bad behavior and unchecked hypergamy, they actually enable it. So until all of this changes, well, I guess I'll just be making more content.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
It is interesting to watch mainstreamers to talk about our subject and our little niche here, because they see it so differently than us. Because yes, how Man Talk says, they are from a higher echelon of earners and, you know, clout and everything, but they don't still see how the regular guys are struggling, and how it's not everything that's chronically on the internet. It's also in real life. Men are experiencing a lot of these turmoils in real life with women. That's the problem. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.